Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please throw up your windows and call out to your neighbors. It's time for John Perrotta and Jessica Leigh's weekly check-in, sponsored in part by Near. Why? Because sometimes you just don't want to use the razor blade. And now, your hosts, John Perrotta and Jessica Leigh.
Thank you, Mike Cronin. Give a wave, Mike. Welcome. Steve DeNuccio, very funny comedian, illustrator. He draws unbelievable pictures, slices cold cuts during the day, drives Uber. He does it all. He'll ride you to New York, tell you jokes, and give you some baloney. Not bad, Steve. We got Alessandra, actress, model, comedian, tarot reader. Is there anything you don't do, Alessandra?
No.
You do it all.
No, and don't forget it.
And then we got my man, the hilarious, who imitates me and DeNuccio like nobody can. Jay Burns is in the house. Jay Burns, he's looking around. And I'm going to take it over to Jessica Leigh. What's going on with you, Jess? The weekly check-in. She's our therapist. She sees how many patients a week?
A lot. I don't know.
On Zoom, and then at night, once a week,
and then
we
you
counsel the comedians that are in the pandemic, going out of their minds. So I appreciate you doing this, Jessica. She does it free of charge. It's unbelievable. We really appreciate this.
For the Comedy Factory only. I have to limit it, you know.
Yes, I've called her as late as midnight. I've called her. I was breathing into the phone. Jessica, I'm going out of my mind. What do I do? She said, go to bed and stop watching MSNBC. I go to bed. Stop watching the news. I was telling Steve, I watch about 10 hours a day of the news. I'm not going to get into politics, but I watch all the channels.
Oh, no.
I lay there at 1 a.m, looking up, God, how did you do this?
Bonanza. Go to Bonanza. It's way better.
I go nuts.
I've actually been watching The Twilight Zone, which is making me very happy.
Maybe I should watch that. I think they should do a special episode with Trump and Biden in The Twilight Zone. What do you think? They'll be the only two people in it. They did an episode one time in a town where there was a guy and a girl, nobody else. They looked all over. They couldn't find anybody. We'll put Trump and Biden in that town and just let them stay there for a year, figure it out. What do you think?
We'll call it the Tower of Terror, right?
Yeah, maybe Biden. Yeah, maybe Biden will come back next year with hair like Trump's, and they'll get along. I don't know. Alessandra, what's going on? You're a tarot reader, you're an actress, you're doing it all. What's going on? What's going on in your world?
Not much, keeping busy. I'm still not going out in public too much.
Nah, you know? I watch myself.
Yeah, I haven't really been going out, but I can do all my work from home, so I've just been being a hermit. Yeah, it's not a funny existence.
Nah, I had 2 shows scheduled for the rest of the year. All my shows got canceled. I had one September 4th. I won't mention the place. They canceled a show. 10 of the employees tested positive for COVID.
Oh, my God.
And then I had a birthday party in October. I called that lady up today. I texted her, and I was actually going to give it to Steve and Brian, you know, and I texted her, and she said she had 75 people coming, but because of the virus, they canceled. So I have no gigs the rest of the year. So COVID is among us. So you got to stay home, and you're like me. I don't do too much. I kind of be careful, you know.
Yeah, I'm more cautious than anything. All my gigs got canceled too, so it's just a kind of it's such a weird year without comedy. You know what I mean?
It's really weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I do is the open mics at the park, at Pop on Park, and it's like I feel bad for all the comedians. It's all they got, and it's like a buffet table of comedians.
Literally,
how many comedians come a week, Steve? About 30 a week.
35, and I capped out 35. We start the show at 8 o'clock. And we only allow the comics to do 5 minutes. Otherwise, we'd be there till at least the Sunday. Mm-hmm. And all the hosts, I have to say, I've been running it very tight, very tight. And,
what do they get? 4 minutes apiece?
Well, 5 minutes. We give them a light at 4, and they're off. And we've been getting out of there around 11:15 every.
So it goes from 8 to 11. 8 to 11 almost.
No later than that.
Wow.
And they're good. Everybody wears a mask coming in. You know, there's no bar stools.
Steve, I wear a mask when I sleep. You know what I mean? I lay in bed with the mask. I'm afraid if somebody breaks in, what if he's got COVID?
That's your...
You know what I'm saying? I'll be screwed, Jay. Cronin breaks in my house. He's got COVID. I'm laying in bed without the mask. He sneezes, grabs my wallet, takes off. Now I'm broke and I got COVID.
I gotta say though, it's nice that that's the worst thing that guy's gonna do to you is give you COVID.
And everybody's got their personalized masks these days. And
Yeah.
God forbid you have the wrong mask on. I don't wear anything political.
I got a Patriots mask. I showed you this one, Steve. My daughter got me this. I don't know where I'm supposed to wear this. What am I gonna wear this?
Usually the dentists wear that when they work on you. I'm in the dental business, so we wear that around the patients when we it gets rid of the splatter.
John, you can use that when the guy breaks in, and then you can pretend to be a lamp. He won't even see you.
I mean, I wear an American flag mask. I wear another mask, and a lady came up to me at the deli the other day, and she says, I don't like your mask. And I looked at her and I says, I don't like your face. She said, what did you say? I said, I don't like your face. And all the coworkers, they love working with me.
Oh, I can see the exchange now. I don't like your face. You want it this thin or do you want it even thinner? Half a pound of boar's head? I don't know. Magical day.
I'm still on the lampshade. I like that.
Well, Jay, I did tell her to have a magical day at the end of our exchange.
I know my friends.
I got to tell you this. They broke in my mother, God rest her soul, passed away in 2003. I was going over there, staying over there sometimes, and I went over one morning before work to check the house, and the door was open a little. My mother had already passed. My father had passed. I was the only kid. I go in, and the place had been ransacked. I called the police. I called the cops. Warwick police. I got friends on there. Look, they went flying by the house. I'm like, over here, over here. Then they came in the house. They actually drew their guns and went through the whole house. And yeah, crazy. What happened? About 4 in the morning, the girl used to drop the newspaper off. My mother's blind was open in her bedroom, and I guess when they dropped the newspaper, they pull in the driveway, and whoever was in there, they saw a car pull in, thought it was me. They took off out the deck door. And yeah, that ever since then, I've had an alarm. I put an alarm in my mother's house. I sold that, and the house I'm in now, I got an alarm. I mean, that's crazy. When they break in your house, that's something you don't really get over. You know what I mean? At least for me, I got post-traumatic stress. Jessica, what? I got post-traumatic stress when they broke in. What do I do?
Oh, you're telling me I have PTSD too, so I don't know. So
No, you're the therapist. What?
No, but Jessica. Not today. I know.
So you never had a patient with post-traumatic stress from
many. I'm a trauma-informed therapist. That's mainly what I do.
So what do I do?
Jessica.
I mean, John, you're sleeping with a mask on. I mean, you can't really, it sounds like you're being as safe as you possibly can.
I want to know what Jessica
You see me Tuesday at 3, Jessica. I need an appointment.
Yes. I will. We will sit down for an appointment, and then you can go, and then you can get your cards read by Alessandra.
I'll get my cards read by Alessandra. I'll come and see you at 3.
Yes.
And I'll go eat with Jay Burns and DeNuccio, and Cronin can be in the back seat drinking vodka, and we'll have a ball.
Yep.
What's going on with you, bad boy?
Be here today.
I am watching my beloved Red Sox plummet. They are already at the bottom of the basement at 7-18.
This year, forget the Red Sox. This year doesn't count. It's 60 games. A lot of them are going to get canceled because of COVID. I don't even watch them because it's not a real season. I can't even get into it.
And they're letting more than half of the teams into the playoffs.
It's
right.
ridiculous.
It's like 58% of the teams, like 58%, like they're gonna get in. It's like,
and if anybody wins the World Series, what are you gonna say? I won the World Series the year of COVID when we went in and played 60 games, and they usually play 162 games. That's a laugh. That's not even. You win the World Series. It's not even.
I mean, on the plus side, the Cranston Little League, I think, has a real chance at winning the World Series this year against the Red Sox. I think they're going to do
I think
so. You know what, Jay? I would take those odds, Jay. I absolutely, positively would. This season with the MLB is a debacle. The MLB Players Association should have stood up to ownership and said, no, it's going to be this way or we're not. You're not going to continue to cut our pay, cut our salary, because the way, if you look at it like this, they asked them to take a significant pay cut. Then they came back and asked them to take a pay cut again. However, you're not going to rule out the fact that players still can get injured, players can get COVID, and hey, that's happened. It seems like all these teams are coming down with players with COVID left and right. They should have never caved in. The MLB players, the owners, we're more concerned about revenue and not player safety. So it is a joke.
I mean, the MLB in general just sort of didn't. I mean, if you look at the NHL and NBA, they've done a smart thing where they've encapsulated everybody. No one's coming out of those bubbles, or they're trying not to get anyone out of those bubbles. Basketball hasn't been doing a great job, but
they have, Jay.
They've been doing better than everyone. I mean, the National Hockey.
You girls know what they're talking about?
I zoned out 5 minutes ago.
They don't know nothing
Alessandra, how dare you? Stay focused, young lady.
They don't know nothing about baseball.
No.
DeNuccio,
Watching Days of Our Lives.
about baseball.
I think the best sport right now on TV is the national cheerleading competition. I think.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that's the only one that's going without COVID. You know.
Maybe I can watch that without watching CNN.
That's what you should be watching 16 hours of.
Is that what I should do, Jessica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jessica's speechless tonight.
Jessica.
John.
Jessica, I need your help. You're my therapist.
Yeah,
I'm reaching out to you.
I actually need help because I never thought I would in my life say this, but I really miss being able to go to Rhode Island.
You miss what?
I miss being able to go to Rhode Island, and I can't go because of the travel ban.
There's still a travel ban. I lost track.
I think it's between Mass and Rhode Island. You can't go.
Yeah, but if you're on the border, they don't care. I mean,
yeah. See, my daughter lives in Mass, so tough situation. Jay Burns, you're the only guy I know that can imitate me and imitate DeNuccio.
Oh,
do 30 seconds of me and then do 30 seconds of DeNuccio.
I've had conversations like that. It's been hilarious.
Do a conversation, 30 seconds of me, 30 seconds of DeNuccio.
DeNuccio, I need you to go run the open mic at the Pub on Park. Okay, I'll go do that right now. Don't tell Marshall though. I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna give a magical day. The comedians are gonna be amazing. I don't know what's gonna happen. But just don't say nothing controversial, okay? Oh, that's all I need. I don't need anyone getting upset with me. John, I would never say anything. Never.
You're out of your mind, Jay. He's out of his mind. Read his cards this week, will you, Alessandra? I want to see what happens.
There's going to be no cards except for strawberry shortcake. That's what Jay's. That's his other impersonation he's doing right now with that shirt.
Hey.
Hey, she doesn't like your shirt. Look at my shirt. I feel like I'm in a.
I like your shirt, John.
I don't know what I am.
I wore this for Mike. I wanted a cross for Mike today.
Praise God. Praise God. I like Jay's shirt. I think Jay's shirt is very nice. I would wear that shirt.
Well, she's saying strawberry shortcake. I'm thinking I'd like to go get a piece of Greg's. You should pause the show and I'll get some and deliver it to all you guys.
John,
I like your shirt, John, and I also, Steve, I have the long sleeve version of what you're wearing. I could quickly do a wardrobe change and sit with Steve next to him.
I mean, if we're putting our cards on the table, I actually have Alessandra's top too, so I can.
Whoa.
Well, I think Alessandra looks like the Knights Templar with the way that cross is on the front.
Yeah,
it looks like she's from an Indiana Jones sequel.
You're a modern nun with that top
the good
on,
thing, like,
with the cross.
Jay and I are the same size, so we share clothes all the time.
I gotta be honest.
Does he dress like? I know he dresses like a nun. Does he dress like a woman too? Some other times.
You're bustier than me, though.
Does he come over there, Alessandra, and try your stuff on? And
yeah, we try on each other's clothes, but apparently Mike has been in everyone's closet without. He has everybody's clothes.
He's got everybody's clothes.
I'm telling you, as soon as I saw Steven, I was like, oh man, thank goodness I'm not rocking my shirt because I've got one just like that, but it's long sleeve.
That'd be
You're
such
talking
a
about strawberry shortcake. When the pandemic hit, I had lost 64. My goal was to lose 100 pounds. I was on a mission. The pandemic blew me out of the water. 2 weeks later, I was at Dave's Market buying grape nut pudding by the bushel. The whipped cream. I gained almost probably over half the weight back. And Monday, I go back to Miriam Hospital. Jay, I weigh in. I'm going to try in the pandemic to lose weight, which is going to be tough.
Yeah, I got to be honest. So before the pandemic, I was in the hospital. And when I was in the hospital, they weighed me, and I'll never forget, there was an old man, like guy was like 9,000 years old, that was in the bed next to me. and they had to weigh him. He weighed 185, and they weighed me, and I weighed 176 pounds. And in my adult life, since I've been 16 years old, I have never been under 200 pounds.
Wow.
I'm over 200 again now. I gained the pandemic.
COVID weight.
Yeah.
Most people have put on some COVID weight, I think.
Yeah, that's normal.
I mean, you're sitting there on the couch, you go to the refrigerator, you come back, you think of something else. What are you doing? You're watching, TV. And
I've actually been double fisting chips. Like I've had 2 bags of chips going at the same time, and I've just gone back and forth between the two. I've been doing it the whole pandemic, the whole time. Like,
have you gained any weight, Jessica? You don't look it.
No, I haven't.
How did you not gain any weight during the pandemic?
Well, I've been going for like 5-mile walks out in nature.
5-mile walks, nature. I couldn't walk. If you told me to walk 5 miles, as I started now, I'd probably be 75 when I got back. I couldn't walk 5 miles. If my life depended on it.
I wouldn't do it if there was a scooter pie at the end of the 5 miles.
Right.
I went to Cleveland. I had to drive to Ohio. My wife had the double lung transplant 8 years ago. I had to drive her to Ohio. They didn't want to fly in. We did that last week. Went all the way out there, got all the way back. And when I got back, I said, I'll drop the rental car off. No problem. And I'll take an Uber home. I figured, no problem. I go in some garage at the airport on Jefferson Boulevard. I dropped the car off. I didn't know how to get out of there. I walk down these stairs. I come out. I'm on some side street, not even on Jefferson Boulevard. I'm looking. I got to walk the post road about a half a mile. I was out of my mind. I walked that half a mile, 3/4 of a mile. I got in a place. I'm leaning against the wall trying to stand up. I called the Uber. It took them like 20 minutes to come. It was like a lifetime. I cannot walk. At 5 miles, Jessica, I could never do it. You do that every day?
No, like a few times a week.
That's amazing.
I went to the gym a couple of times, but I only have a thing with the gym where I'll only go at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't like been that like good with it because I want to go when it's like first opened, and I only will do cardio and leave. That's like my only thing with the gym because I don't really trust like touching all the weights and all that stuff.
It was really funny. I had a gym teacher. Like an instructor at the gym. What do they call it? I don't know.
Personal trainer.
This is how much I like the guy. He was like, he goes, how can we make this more difficult? How can we make this a challenge for you? Like, just put the gym on the second floor. I'll never show up. Like,
my gym has one of those, like, it's like the knockout version of CrossFit, or like their own version of CrossFit. And like, I show up, I'm like, why are people moving tires in the parking lot and stuff? Like, this is not, like, I just do the bare minimum. Like, I do cardio, I do bar classes. I should do yoga. I know that, but I don't do yoga because I'm not. A guy put his foot in my face the last time I did yoga. Like, he's tried to squeeze in, and he was, doing the, and his foot was in my face. I kept bragging that there was no room in the back of the class, and
I ended a date for the same reason.
My gym happens to be where I work at the deli. 23,000 steps today. Yesterday I did 26,000 steps.
Wow.
And Jessica, I have to ask you, all right, so you're a doctor of psychology. Do you have a cure? Well, not a doctor?
Not even close.
All right, well, you see patients.
She's a social worker, a therapist.
Like,
right.
Jay keeps my ego in check like nobody's business. He's like,
I want to know, Jessica, do you have anything for excessive compulsive deli disorder?
No.
Because there are people that come to the deli that have, I don't know what it is about a deli. People lose their crap at a deli.
I didn't know you worked in a deli.
Oh, look
what are you doing, Vincent?
Like the nice and thin, I want to see through it.
We got a surprise guest. Right? Vincent's in the house.
Hey,
what are you doing?
Bitches.
Where are you guys?
I'm working.
we're hitting his
You're
So
face.
I'm going to get
Sunshine?
fired right now just because I want to say hello to Jessica Leigh and Alessandra.
You got to say one joke while you're here. One
One
joke.
joke.
And nothing crazy.
No. All right. 3 old men sitting on a park bench. 70 years old, 80 years old, 90 years
Why
old.
are you yelling?
70 years old, shut up. I'm on the computer. 70 years old says, I hate being 70. I can't pee. I stand there and I wait and I wait and I wait, and nothing comes out. 80-year-old says, that's nothing. Try being 80. He says, I can't move my bowels. He said, I sit there and I wait and I wait and I wait, and nothing comes out. 90-year-old said, well, try being 90. They said, do you have trouble peeing? He says, no. He said, every morning, 6:30, I pee. You have trouble moving your bowels? He said, no. He said, every morning, 7:30, I move my bowels. They said, so what's so bad about being 90? He said, I don't wake up until 8. Gotta go back to work.
Brian
Bye,
Vincent, a
ladies.
surprise
Love you.
guest. That spiced
Go
up
get you
the
a drink.
show.
Excuse me. Excuse me, Mike Cronin. Okay, I'll go get you a drink.
There you
Bye,
go.
ladies.
You're at the sunny side, Jay. I didn't know you were at the sunny side.
Oh,
I love Brian.
It's
Jay,
amazing.
Jay goes to talk and Brian yells at him. He scolds him. He says, shut up, I'm on the computer.
It's almost like watching the Smothers Brothers with those.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Shut up, I'm on the computer.
Poor
Wait,
Steve's
what-
just trying to get a
am I Jake or Tom?
diagnosis.
What's
And then
that, Jess?
Brian comes in with all his jokes. Poor Steve's just trying to get a diagnosis of excessive.
Brian came in.
Excessive compulsive belly disorder. That's what it was.
What did they do, Steve?
Oh my God, these people are crazy.
OCD.
They'll come, these people are nuts. They'll come to the deli. I want my cheese very, very thin, and I want a tear sheet between each one, and I want a whole pound. Everybody's eyes are rolling. The other day, I had a guy get so angry with me. Why not? All I did was say, number 25, how may I assist you? There you go again, being polite. You're making me feel like a piece of crap. He actually lost it.
You were polite.
Because I was polite. Then I showed him the slice so it can confirm the slice. I said, is this sufficient? There you go again. I don't want you helping me. You use some big words on me. What am I supposed to say?
I'm
These
surprised
people
you
are
use big
nuts.
words at all.
Yeah.
Steve, go back to Uber. Forget that. Forget the
Well, I
deli.
mean, I do this because I wanted to join a gym, and my wife says, nah, you can lose weight, because I was in the dental profession, still am, but I don't have to do it like I used to. But she said, go work at this place. I'm not going to mention the place. She says you can work in the deli and you can lose some weight. I doubted her. I lost the bet. I lost 53 pounds and still kept it off.
Wow. Good for you,
That's-
Steven.
Not many people lose in the pandemic.
Oh my
Good
God,
for you.
DeNuccio's still talking. What happened? I left, he's talking. I come
I
back,
like
he's
your mask.
talking.
I like
You're
the
back
mask
again.
in your
Hey,
pocket.
hey, Vincent.
What?
Tell one more joke while you're here. We
One
don't
more
know
joke.
any jokes. We haven't been on stage in months. So I can't tell you
No,
a
8
joke.
months. It's been a
Tell
long
me a
time.
joke. Throw it a clean joke.
A clean joke,
Semi-clean.
okay.
How about the
Nice
guy in
and
the
clean.
bus? The guy in the bus or the fence? Either one.
Those are clean.
That's unclean.
Go ahead, Vincent.
All right. Oh, I'm so under pressure. Hold on, I have to drink this. What is this?
This guy's a nuts.
I like the honeymoon one where he goes upstairs and
No, I can't tell that one.
why?
Vincent.
Hey, they're all wrong for this.
No, say
Hit it, Vincent. Hit it.
There's not a
Wrong,
bad
wrong,
word in that
wrong,
whole
wrong.
joke.
us.
Vincent, what are you doing?
What's the one, Brian, that you tell about the old movie?
He's gonna give the punchline. Go, Cronin. What?
No, I don't want to give the
Anyway,
punchline.
go. What?
The one that you do, I always love. I know you did it at our church, man. They were rolling the aisles. The one about the old woman, something happened. We still haven't found it to this day.
All my jokes about old ladies.
That's hilarious. That's a funny joke.
Oh, about my old aunts.
Yeah.
Because she always exercised and she started walking 5 miles a day when she turned 65. Now she's 94. We don't know where the hell she is. That one. And I had another old aunt, started having trouble with the memory. I called her. I said, Auntie, what's the matter? She says, well, I mix up my preparation H with my polygrip. She said, the good news is my gums aren't swollen anymore. She said, the bad news is my ass cheeks are glued shut.
Yeah.
And I had another old aunt. This is my last one.
Alessandra, what
But
can I
never
tell
got
you? The
mad.
guy's
She
sick.
always lived alone.
Love them.
So I sent her a bird to keep her company. I called her. I said, Auntie, how's the bird? She said, I cooked it. I said, what do you mean you cooked it? I said, that was a rare South American parrot. He spoke 5 languages. She said, well, he should have said something. Hi, little DeNuccio.
That's
There
right.
you go.
All
Gotta
right,
go back to
Vincent,
work.
you're a welcome guest. We love having
Thank you
you
very
as a
much. Thanks for
surprise.
having me. I
I
just
As a
got
surprise
diabetes.
guest.
I just drank out of his glass. It's lovely to see you guys, especially you two ladies. I'm
Brian,
pointing you out,
Brian.
you,
Brian.
And you, wait, I'm sorry.
I like how Jay is the best. Jay is the best audience
These guys are
He
crazy.
laughs at all my stuff, but I'm unbuttoning it because I too have a Patreon.
Oh
Gotta go.
my God.
Jess, where are we now? You're the therapist. At this point, what would you say?
It's
Any
gone.
medication
It's
needs to
gone,
be
and I
prescribed
went
here,
with
or
Whiskey.
It's gone. I went with it. It's I don't know where it's going.
you know?
But
Here's the potato chips, Jess. Pass them around.
I know, right?
what is your favorite kind of potato chip, John?
Favorite? I like Weiss potato chips.
I love
Like
those.
regular Weiss
I
potato
agree.
chips.
I like
Dynamite.
Ruffles. I love Ruffles too.
Yes.
Yeah,
like
Ruffles are
kettle.
good.
I like Wise though.
Lay's is all right, but I always like Weiss the best.
I'm a
Yeah,
Cape
you
Cod
can't get
girl
them
myself.
across the my aunt lives in Arizona and she can't get them, so we
Yeah, when I worked at the prison, we used to be able to go in the kitchen and after I don't know why after the inmates were fed, they would have food out. They put some extra food out for the correctional officers, and they had bags of chips. I would eat so many bags. In 36 years, I probably ate thousands of bags of chips. Man, I probably owed the state of Rhode Island about 10,000 for potato chips. I mean, what can I tell you,
Be careful,
Alessandra?
John.
What do you
You're
make of
gonna
that?
I mean, I would do the same thing. So
You would do the
I
same
think-
thing?
yeah, we're soulmates, John.
I know, right? She's also my stepdaughter. Jessica's my stepdaughter. You're my stepdaughter. Duchess SS, I got all stepdaughters.
All
That's
fine
right.
women. All fine women.
Of all
Cronin
the,
and you
of all the
guys are my
times-
stepbrothers.
all the times that I booked Alessandra, and there were quite a few. My favorite headshot, she has that one back from like the 40s where you've got the bandana tied up over, and you've got a white and blue polka dot dress. Man, that was my favorite headshot of you of all time.
Thank you.
Of all time.
That was a long
Wow.
time ago.
Headshots in the 40s? That's fantastic.
I'm telling you, man.
It was like pinup-y. Yeah, I'm very old.
Yes.
Amazingly.
No, my entire apartment is like done in like pinup and all sorts of
Is
stuff.
it?
All sorts of stuff. I've got God stuff, I've got other stuff, I've got pinup stuff, I've got
Marilyn
spiritual
Monroe.
stuff, I've got meditation stuff. I've just got a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of different types of stuff.
Me too.
Marilyn Monroe is my second most
Thank you.
popular female to draw. People love Marilyn Monroe.
To this
yeah.
day. To this day, Stephen.
I got
To
that
this
from
day,
Wow.
most popular to
Christmas
draw.
stuff.
What about Elvis?
Oh, I got a lot of Elvis, but
Not a very
Marilyn
popular
Monroe
female.
is just right on the top there. They love Marilyn. There's so many different poses of Marilyn.
Yeah, Marilyn was something else. Too bad she died like she did, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
You
a
can get a
tragedy.
Jean
It really
Harlow.
is.
I loved her in that movie with Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, Something Like It Hot.
Something Like It
Oh,
Hot.
such a good movie.
Wow. I think I'm gonna watch, see if I got it on. I might watch that. That was a classic
There you go,
movie.
John.
Yeah, that I think is
Who was
really
in that?
good.
Tony Curtis,
Tony Curtis,
Marilyn
Jack
Monroe.
Lemmon.
Jack. There's another female in
Jack
that.
Lemmon. What's her name?
One more. Yeah, that was a
Just
classic.
watched this too. I just watched this.
Have you seen that movie, Jess?
I have it, and I just rewatched it like not too long ago.
Nice.
One of my
I
favorites.
was when
One of my
Tony
other
Curtis and Jack Lemmon dressed up like the girls. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's such a good movie. There was one of my other favorites with Marilyn Monroe is Niagara. That's one of my favorites. I think.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that one night.
But I like that poster behind her. I like that poster. It's really
Yeah,
unique.
it was-
I haven't
It
seen
was
that
only
kind of
like $20 at what do you call it? Christmas tree shop. It like was super cheap.
What I like about it, it's minimalism. Minimalism is art with not a lot of detail. I do a lot of that.
Mm.
Something I was trained at.
Minimalism is.
That's what they call it, minimalism. It's
Now, if I was in the deli, I would say, "Don't talk to me like that."
Yeah.
I'm a minimalist.
Make my
Wow.
meal as
I never heard that
minimalist as
word in my
possible.
life. I've heard of minimalism. I've never. Is that a
I've
word?
heard it.
That's a form of
Is that
art.
a word,
Wow.
Alessandra?
It's a
I've heard
form
of
of
it.
art.
I got a
When you-
bachelor's degree. I never heard of minimalism.
When you
Because
cut
never
my
put
roast
thought.
beef, I want as minimalism as possible.
I'm gonna throw that out to my
There's
mailman when I get the
modernism,
mail
there's
the other day.
minimalism, there's realism, there's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
these things in art, in the world, in the art.
I-
You went to RISD.
Yes, I did.
I went to
I go to
CCRI and
design
Roger
classes.
Williams. What's that, Alessandra?
I'm the nude model for the drawing classes, so I
Oh, yes.
learned a lot of stuff I never use. You know?
You had them.
You're my stepdaughter. I'm speechless.
Oh,
I know what to
we
say.
had the nude models way back in the 70s. We had the
Yeah.
nude model.
You should
I
see all the.
took from CCRI.
You should see the stuff when she modeled for Pablo Picasso. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I can put my boob like way over here.
How was the pay? Was the
Yeah.
pay pretty good, Alessandra, when they were drawing you?
No, it's like $16 an hour.
Well, I mean, right
Yeah.
now
I
I'm
have another friend
retired.
that
Me and
does
Jake
it.
could go do that, right?
I feel
Yeah,
like I'd
anybody
have to, like,
can.
sneeze.
Would they draw us?
I'd
We
have
should
to
all go
sneeze.
together.
That would be an interesting study. That would be a very interesting study.
Where is this at? Where do you go to do this? Where do you go?
I do it at CCRI, which is like a mile from me
So
in Lincoln.
CCRI, I'm gonna go in there with a robe on, nothing on with Jay.
Yeah.
And we just stand there and the class starts, we're totally naked and they draw.
That's right. Yes.
They give me 16 an hour.
You know, everyone's going to be like, can we,
That's not
we get
bad.
extra pencils? We need extra pencils for this.
Jay, if
Yeah,
we do
but
5
we need
hours
a
a
lot of
day,
supplies.
5 hours a day, times 16, that's $80 a day. Can make
Yeah,
400 a
it's
week
about
just
4
standing there
hours.
naked.
Yeah.
Cronin could come too.
I'm doing that anyway, so might as well get paid for it.
You want to do that, Mike? Come with me and Jay.
I would not want to horrify these poor students.
Yeah, but it would drum up business for Jessica.
At
More
62
patience.
years old, Grampy Mike is no longer the stealth Olympian model I once was back in.
Mike, you need some self-love.
Yeah. Maybe
You should have seen
men
me and him in the
like
early 90s. What's that, Alessandra?
I was saying other men like Mike need representation, so they want to see you, Mike.
You know, Alessandra, I'm binge watching Modern Family. I'm in season 7, and as I watch that show, I think I'm starting to look like Ed O'Neill, Jay Pritchett.
Well,
Telling
if
ya.
you start drawing naked old men, talk about minimalism, right?
There you go, Steve. There you go. There you go.
The big words.
I know, right?
Too many big words for me.
If they're gonna paint me naked, it just needs to be Mondrian. You know what I mean? Like it just needs to be blocks.
I just want to paint you in that pink shirt, Jay. That's all I want to do is paint that.
Pink.
Yes.
No.
It looks
It's not
pink.
pink. It's not pink.
I got a
is-
pink shirt downstairs.
It's
I got a pink
orangey
shirt.
salmon at best.
Ooh,
All right,
salmon.
and your orangey salmon shirt that matches your blushy cheeks. I want to do this. This is good.
I've been drinking for the last 2 hours. Of course, we got.
You seem like you're, I wouldn't have guessed. You seem like you're straight. You got a little buzz on, Jay?
You know, I got to be honest. If I had a nickel for every time someone said, "I thought you were straight," you know.
Oh
Jay's
my
just
God.
really good at drinking. Like
What
he's
is Alice? Yeah,
Really good.
Jay's a good drinker. Have you drank
the
with
worst
Jay,
part is-
Jessica?
So
have I drank with Jay?
Yeah.
I have drank with Jay.
in fact, the first time you and I met at Pub on Park, I think I was very lit that night, and that's when I gave you the
Nice.
best piece of advice I think you've ever gotten in comedy.
Yes. We talked for a long time at the bar.
What was the advice?
Yeah.
Don't
Stay
don't
away
go out
from
with a male.
DeNuccio and Perrotta.
Oh no, that was later. Oh yeah.
Oh, was it later? I thought it was.
That's
It was
the-
don't go out with a
wait,
male comic. That's the
Oh,
best
oh,
piece of
yeah.
advice
Oh, you told her don't go out with a male comic?
ever.
There was another time Jay was
That's
texting me
I
Great
from
advice.
the bar.
did for Jay on that one.
Yeah.
Jay was
29 years, I don't think I've ever dated a female comic. Probably, I don't recall.
I have gone out with one. We've gone
Did
out
I,
like,
Alessandra? You went with
me?
one? You went
No,
with one?
When I started out, I hung out with Alan Fitzgerald a lot. That was about it.
Oh, man, he's crazy. Alan's crazy. I love
My
Alan.
cousin,
I
coffee
didn't
with
date anybody.
him. I love Alan.
Alan's,
love Alan.
Alan's
my cousin
good.
made a
Alan.
mistake. My cousin
Alan's-
made a mistake dating a comic. That
Yeah.
marriage didn't last.
Yeah, no.
Ariana Grande. She goes on Saturday Night Live and she
Mhm.
dates the comic. No wonder why I didn't get the invitation. The mother said, "You're not getting an invitation because I'm not going either." I looked at my wife. I said, "That marriage ain't happening."
Was that with Pete Davidson? That was with
Pete
Pete
Davidson.
Davidson, right?
That's
Yes.
right.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I never dated a comic my whole life. I never dated.
That
a
was my
comic.
rule too. I wasn't interested.
I didn't have any rules. I couldn't grab one. I had no rules, Alessandra. So
I did have that rule. I did.
You had that
I was
rule,
not
Jess?
hard
You
to
got that
keep.
rule? Do you
It was
stay
not
by that
hard.
rule?
Do I? Now I have that rule. That rule.
You don't date no comics. You don't
Nice.
date
Well,
any
I was
comics.
like, it's weird, like, cause I don't do any online dating or anything like that. Like, I don't really seek things out. Like, I'm totally fine with being by myself. So it's like situations just present themselves to me. But then you end up in the situation where you end up shitting where you eat. And it's such a bad idea. The whole thing is just a bad idea. Everybody should just be celibate.
Yes.
No.
Oh no. No. That's not a good idea. No.
Wait a minute. Cronin's been quiet over there. What's
know,
your
right?
take on all this?
Well, I can remember one time I had Alessandra up in Massachusetts at a big room, and I'm
You
looking at
had her?
Alessandra.
Wait a minute. You had her?
I booked her.
Oh, all right.
Come on now, people. I booked Alessandra for a comedy event in Massachusetts, and this comic, I'm not going to mention their name, meets Alessandra for the first time. Well, let me tell you something. This person, their legs turned into Gumby, and their mouth turned into.
Wait,
and I had to become like Alessandra's dad. I'm like, dude, really? Come on. And you at one point had it and said, come on, dude, really? And
I remember this, but I can't remember. I don't remember who it is.
oh, I remember who it is.
You don't have to say it.
No, don't say it.
Who it is.
You don't want to redo the video. Don't say it.
I felt for you because on all my shows, if those of you who worked for me back then knew, I always had a girl in my lineup. Every single show, I always had a girl in my lineup. And if you were funny, I would try to pair you up on good shows. Like I got Alessandra up with Poppy Champlin a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that. I always had a female in my lineup. And when the guys were hitting on him, man, I'm like, come on, man, that is just not cool.
I will say
These are our coworkers.
Yeah, I will say every show I've ever done, I've been uncomfortable at some point. So, I mean, every show.
Every show?
Every single show. So I will say, like, when you guys check in or when you do things like that, it means a lot. It means a lot.
I'm glad because I was upset that night because that club we were at was big and it did have a legitimate professional green room. So, there's no place to run unless you go storming out the door and slam it. So we're all back there and we're stuck. And he's like coming on like Rico Suave times 10 with a couple of shots of steroids in his buttocks.
I don't remember any of my shows where you had a problem, Alessandra, but maybe
not just comics. It could be people at the bar or but and a lot of them you wouldn't notice. Almost every show I've been uncomfortable.
Well,
I
have a girl that will say the same thing, that the men come on and it makes them very uncomfortable. We don't know what women go through, but I hear the story. Right. It's pretty rude.
It's horrible.
It's sad because we're used to it, so that's why you don't hear about it.
Worst thing. That is the worst thing. I have, and I'm not trying to get on a high horse here, and I apologize. I remember when my nephew was like 14, 15, and we were talking about, because I had an issue where I had a comic at a show that I had booked, and during the show, an audience member, not another comic, an audience member came up to her, and it was a female audience member that came up to her and grabbed her and said, something stupid like, this is how we do it in like whatever town we were in. But she was very drunk, and not that's an excuse. And and I didn't know about it until well after the fact. The comic didn't tell me until after the show was over. We had left. I had, everything was done. And I was telling my nephew about this. And I'll never forget, my nephew was like, well, why would somebody do that? And I said, because guys have this bad habit of it's all the woman's fault. It's always a woman's, and we stop saying, stop assaulting women. Like, that's your job. Don't assault a woman. Get consent. Like, that's so important. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm on a soapbox.
I agree with you, Jay. I think
you're right.
No, you don't have to feel funny.
I'm
Jay.
right.
I agree with you,
right.
Jay.
That's something different.
These are the conversations I have with my son and people. Really, you got
to. As a booker, I always made sure that every female comic that worked for me felt safe, and I had a girl in every single lineup. they needed to feel safe, not only with the other comics they were working with, but you also got to keep your eye on your female comics in your lineup with the audience members too, because you know they don't know how to behave themselves either. There was many a time I had to like keep an eye, got to look out, man. You know, you feel like a dad and your daughter's out on the prom. You got to make sure she's getting dropped off at 11. So you got to be aware of both. You got to be aware of the lineup, that everyone's being respectful to each other, and you also got to watch out for the audience members just saying things that are inappropriate, thinking that, you know, okay, so your bit, your act that you did on stage may have been a little bit risque here and there, but you've got to be able to understand that was a joke. That's not who I am when I leave the stage and put the microphone. So no, don't tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hey, can we get together later?" Because that ain't happening. So you do have to be aware.
It doesn't matter what the act is.
I mean, maybe I drank too much.
Well put, Mike. Well put.
Maybe I drank too much, but I don't recall any of the girls having problems at all the shows. I must not have been paying attention.
Well, they wouldn't have told you, John.
They wouldn't have told me. Well, I would have did something if they had a problem with somebody.
That's the problem.
I would have stepped in.
Like I said earlier, this is a culture we're used to.
Yeah.
Okay. When a guy puts his arm around my waist and I don't know him, I'm used to that.
Oh, that's
Freaks
crazy.
me out. I'm not gonna run to you and be like, "This guy, he touched me." You know, it's just not a thing that we do.
You can handle yourself, in other words.
That too.
That's
but yeah, John, if we came to you every time, I mean, you wouldn't get a break.
Wow.
It'd be nuts, huh?
Well, as long as he didn't sniff your hair, I mean, you're good. I mean, but I'm glad it was just around the waist.
I have nothing to say on that.
I'm not going to go further than that.
I have nothing to say on that.
I'm leaving it at that.
We know where you're leading. I'm going to leave that one alone.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm leaving it at that. It's just
leave it at that, because if we go in that direction, this thing will blow up into CNN.
No, not going there. Not going there.
CNN / Fox News.
And I can take that to the other side also. I'm not going to mention the names. I had two comics I brought in for what I call a doubleheader. Had them Friday night up in Massachusetts, had them Saturday here in Rhode Island. So I got them up in hotels, which I'm paying for. And the female comic, very funny, very, very well established, usually established. And we were at the Carousel Grill. They want to go out after. So after, we go down to Picasso's, which I also had a room there. John also did shows there. Now, this young lady meets a guy, which I'm like, you know, you're an adult. But at the end of the evening, I had to tell this guy, dude, you are not going back to her hotel. One, because she's not going back to her hotel. She's had too much to drink. So for her to tell you that I got a hotel room, that's not happening because I booked the hotel room. You're not getting in the car. She's getting in the car. I had to take her, put it in the car, shut the door, and watch them drive off to New York because she wanted to hook up with this guy.
So she left with him? She left with the guy?
She wanted to. But I put my foot down on it. I'm thinking this is like she's thinking like I'm on spring break. I'm from New York. I'm in the smallest state in the country in Rhode Island. This guy's kind of cute, little surfer dude. I'm gonna, put a notch in my belt. Not on my watch, you're not, young lady. Grampy Mike is not having that.
Well, I watched them for the comedians, but I mean, if they took off and did something, hey, I can't get in the middle of that. I mean, I didn't know. If I knew something, maybe I would have, but maybe I was oblivious to this stuff, Jessica. This is another problem to put down. My therapy appointment on Tuesday. Post-traumatic stress from the break-ins, too much news on TV.
You're disassociated.
And not being aware of my surroundings at the comedy show. So what happened?
I had one, John.
29 years. I don't recall any of this.
I know.
Years ago, John, that story reminded me. We went off in a different direction. This was back in the 80s, back when I did look like Mike Bon Jovi with all my long hair and highlights and tan and all that stuff. This girl I was dating and another couple we used to hang out with were going to see Billy Joel at the Civic Center. Now, I had a good friend of mine that was the accountant there, so she could always get the sweet seats. So I get my 4 tickets, give them their 2, I get my 2. I put my 2 in my Bible. My apartment gets broken into. I'm like, what
Now
the?
you need Jessica for therapy. His apartment got broken into.
So now my apartment gets broken into.
Probably the same guy.
They steal my son's Atari console game thing there. I grab my Bible. I open it up. They take
They didn't
the
take your
tickets.
Bible?
No, they didn't take the
Oh,
Bible.
thank God.
They didn't take
That's
my
the
Bible.
worst thing, a religious home invasion.
You know, I wish they would have taken the Bible.
Non-religious home
They-
invasion.
They this is Stephen. So here's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking, I got them. Because they took the tickets. The 4 tickets are all together. So we go to Billy Joel, and the people that were sitting next to me, I kept asking them, can I see it? I'm going through the whole story. It was like a scene from Curb Your Enthusiasm or Seinfeld. Like, could I just see it? And here's why. My apartment got broken into. They stole my son's Atari, and they opened up my Bible, and they took the tickets. Could I just see your tickets, please?
So you're in the Civic Center looking, going around?
Yeah, I know. I'm in the Civic Center because, John, I had 4 tickets. 2 for me that were in the Bible that they stole.
Stole
The
them.
Bible.
Right.
Behind the seats.
Exactly,
You
Jessica.
were like
Thank you.
Inspector Clouseau in
I
the Civic
exactly
Center.
was. I was
You were like
I
the Pink Panther.
I was the Pink
Panther, the whole
Panther.
Civic
Exactly
Center.
right.
Thousands of people. You're looking at seats to try to figure out who took the tickets.
So I don't know what happened to them. They never showed up. So early on in the concert,
What the hell's going on in this show?
the guy comes by with the flashlight checking your ticket. So for like the first 45 minutes of that show, he's throwing people out of the seat because it's not their seat. So they never showed up. I don't know what happened.
They never showed up.
They never showed up.
That's a dumb thief. Stealing 4 Billy Joel tickets and not even showing up.
What I think they did, John, is this. They probably said to themselves, they can easily find us if we sit in these seats. So we'll just use them to get in the building. We'll just walk around and watch Billy Joel.
The moral of the story, an alarm. You got to have an alarm.
Gotta have
That's
an
what I
alarm.
believe. I believe all my cellar windows are alarmed. All my doors, windows, I'm ready. I'm ready. After they broke in my mother's, I've been ready ever since. No one's come yet. I'm ready.
I got to tell a fun story of Mike. When Mike had the long hair, and Mike, the first time I met Mike was here at the Sunnyside, actually. Nick Albanese was having a show. It was it was early on. I think Alessandra, you were on the show too.
Maybe.
I think so. And we were back here in the the green room, and I'll never forget. Mike came up to me afterwards, long hair, and God bless you, man. You were drunk as a skunk that night, and you came up to me and went, Jay Burns, but does he itch? And you were so convinced that I should use that as my opener. For the longest, you're like, Jay Burns, but does he itch?
It's funny.
It is funny.
Well, use it. Try it.
It was the way he presented it. He just came up to me, he put his arms around me and was like, Jay Burns, but does he itch?
You know, I
shaking her head.
I would like to think through
We've
my
lost
30
control
plus
again,
years,
Jessica, of the
I've
weekly check.
rolled out good advice.
The shades of
You know, that's not a bad bit. That's funny. That still might work.
I like it.
I gave Alessandra a tip in that very building, and she used it, and it crushed.
Did I?
I told you with that joke. I said, "This is hilarious. You've got the warm beginning, and then you've got the punch. What you got to do is a joke about the lollipop. I said to you, let that joke breathe,
Oh, breathe. Yeah.
and then come back and hit it with the punch. And you said, I'll do it. And you went up and did it, and bang, bada boom.
And on that note,
I remember Nick and I were sitting in the back, and I said, you think she'll do it? He said, she'll do it.
on that note, we've been at this 50 minutes. This is a wrap. We got to wrap this up.
We did it.
Come up already?
Mike, it's 50 minutes.
We haven't gotten into depth on Stephen's artwork. I wanted to talk more about the deli, regular customers. I wanted to know if he would text me where it is so I can go there and say I know a guy.
When you go over an hour, you lose the audience. We got to wrap this up. Mikey, what do you got to say to wrap it up, Mike? What's your final thoughts?
I am honored and humbled to be on this show. It was a lot of fun. Alessandra, seeing you. Jessica, seeing you. Jason Burns, seeing you again, Jay. Stephen, seeing you. Had a great conversation with Stephen about a week ago. We talked for almost 2 hours.
Yes,
one of my best conversations I've had all year long. God bless you all. I pray God's favor over each and every one of you and your families, a hedge of protection around you. protect you from COVID-19, keep you all safe. I pray that for each and every one of you. Johnny P, I love you dearly. One of my best friends in the whole wide world. One night, John and I are going to do a special show.
We're over an hour now.
Admission only. And we'll tell the stories that
Mike,
we and
we're
I
over an
have.
hour now. Go ahead. What story is it?
No, I'm not going to say it.
No,
No,
you're
I'm
going to
not-
tell.
No, I said we can tell the stories. We can tell the stories.
Oh, we can tell. Yeah, you don't want to tell that story from the Bond View back then. You don't want to say that one.
A Bond View.
Dude,
my
that's
God,
one of the
that's
best
all
stories ever.
Well, we can't tell that one.
We
Thank
can't.
you for coming
All right.
on, Bad Boy of Comedy, my cohort in crime, Steve DeNuccio. What are you going to say to wrap it up?
I did have a wonderful time talking with Mike. Oh my God, it was very uplifting, and he taught me a lot. Gave me some great criticism, which I took and stuck to this day.
Are you
God
guys
bless-
seeing each other now? Or?
No, we haven't gone that far. We're not gonna have.
Hey, anything goes today.
We
I
can't.
know you're
roast
married,
beef.
Steve, but anything goes.
We can't intermingle. That's Mike's. That's he's the
That's
grandpa.
right. Don't date a comedian. You're right.
Don't date a
That's
comedian.
right.
And you know, I love everybody. I've worked with everybody in this room, and I've had a lot of fun. Thank God for everybody. Thank you, John, for doing this. Thanks.
All right, we'll have you guys on again. We'll go to Jay Burns, and we'll let the girls wrap it up. What are you going to say, Jay?
I hope my girlfriend doesn't hear this "don't date a comedian" bullshit. That's really bad, you know.
Yeah, tell her not to watch this. Don't
I
let
know.
her watch this.
For
You're
so
the
many
man,
reasons.
Jay. It's great seeing you. You look, I know you were in a
Absolutely.
hospital a few months back. You look great. You look
Thank
great.
you. And I love, honestly, I love all of you. You're all wonderful people. I wish I could hug you all right now, truly. but-
Aw.
Oh, Jay.
Hug you too.
Alessandra, what are you going to say to wrap it up? We always love having everybody on. You girls did a
Yeah,
great
I
job.
love it. It was really good to see everybody. Steve, Jess, it was nice meeting you. Jay, Mike, I love all of you. John, I love you. I was thinking real quick, this just came to me. I think, John, you should do a new show called PTSD, and it's Perrotta tries something different, and it's just you doing new stuff. I would
Yeah,
watch
that's a good idea, huh?
that. Yeah.
PTSD. Perrotta tries
Oh my God.
PTSD. Perrotta tries something
There's
different.
something different.
Yeah.
We'll take you to
So
an
it'll
Indian
help with your
restaurant.
PTSD.
That's an idea. I got to write that down.
That is great.
Love
I
you.
like that. You're the bomb, Alessandra. You're the bomb. What are you going to say just to wrap up the weekly check-in? Have you made your evaluations? Who needs
mean,
medication? Or
I mean, as a trauma-informed clinician, I've been just impressed with everybody, you know, and just. So, Jay, no, I'm kidding. I love you.
Jessica spent half the show laughing over there, bouncing around.
Oh, I love everybody here so much, and tonight was my first time meeting Alessandra, and she's super, super great, and like
Aw.
it's just wonderful. And Mickey came right as I was gonna say goodbye, and he's waving, and then is that a bug
Mickey
life? Is
Mouse.
that the that's a
It's just
bug
Ada.
life. Oh my God, I don't have Disney Plus. I probably should watch it. There's 50 Shades of Mike. Mike has been 50,000 different people throughout the course of his lifetime, and I love that because he had that spiritual awakening, and that's what I like chase. I like live for that. I live for that, and I've been like kind of off social media for a little while because I'm doing like some spiritual stuff that nobody would understand except probably the people that are here. And I'm not gonna get into it. But things are good. Life is good, and I love you guys. I'm done.
Yes.
Love you too, Jessica.
Love
See you next week on the weekly check-in next week. We'll be back, and I'll have all you guys back. Mike comes on frequently. I'll get Steve and Jay. I'll have you guys on soon. I love you guys. Alessandra's the bomb. Jess is the bomb. Everybody stay healthy. And it's been a great show. I had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and stay out of trouble, Jay. And remember, Jay burns, but does he itch? And we'll leave it at that.
If you ever use that, I want to write his credit.
I'm gonna
All
say
right.
that. It
We'll
burns
see you,
under the
kids.
Cronin.
God bless
Love
everybody.
you.
Love you
All
guys.
right.